So, Aaron, you talked about your backstory, how you were selling mobile phones, and then you went to like high ticket
Mm.
antiques and kind of artwork, right? What was the key difference between selling like a low ticket product, like a shopkeeper kind of thing, versus a high ticket item?
Oh, that's a good question. It's very interesting as well because for me to recognize the difference, I wasn't be able to do so until I finally sold high ticket. Right? I didn't
Mm,
know the difference. So in at the back of my mind, I was like thinking, hey, this is the same thing. It's just sales, right? It's just a product I gotta sell. The difference is only the price point. Okay. So what I noticed is that uh, when you're selling high ticket items and more expensive items, it is even more important for you to go down deeper and find the motivation and the reasons that people would buy because uh, look, for people to buy a lower ticket item, for example, food or some things at the grocery store, do you have to think a lot about the decision?
not
Not
really.
really, right? Even if you lose, you buy a $10 worth of apple. If it's bad, what we do? Okay, never mind. I just don't want to spend my time going back to the grocery store for 1 hour
Yeah.
drive and change it. Just leave it be. You'll
Yep.
do something like that, right? So once you understand that
Mhm.
dynamic, now
Uh-huh.
when it happens, what happens when people having dealing with high ticket? A lot of people is keep telling me this. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The process can be the same,
Mhm.
but the emotional makeup of the customer, the way they make decision is different. People have more to
Mm,
think about. Why?
mhm.
They have more to risk, right?
Mm,
You see, if I take $10 away from you,
mhm.
would that kill you?
No.
If you lose $10, would you still be able to wake up tomorrow morning and still go to work
Yeah.
normally, right? Would you cry about
Yeah.
it?
Not really.
Exactly. But if I were to take 100,000 away from you,
Mhm.
imagine your bank you only have 200K.
Mhm.
What would you do? If I wasn't able to perform or I wasn't able to deliver or you're not getting what you're supposed to get.
I'll have insomnia. Probably I'll go on antidepressants and whatever else.
Now you get depressed, you get sad, you probably wanted to come and, you know, seek revenge and coming, hey,
Yes.
Aaron, I want my money back. Oh, you shouldn't be doing this, right? Because you got a lot more to think about. You got a lot more to risk.
Yes.
Why? Because if I'm taking 100,000 away from you, I'm also taking your ability to do other things with the 100,000,
Mhm.
right? So this is on a personal level. On a personal
Mhm.
level, it affects much more. On a business level, however, it's different because people are more logical. There are more people thinking on the terms of more tangible and logical and rational benefits, which they always think they are thinking about that, but yet they still make
Mhm.
decisions based on emotions. So on a
Mhm.
business level, it's whether it's selling lower price item or a higher price item. Uh, it's the difference is not that huge or it's not so uh, significant until it will kill the sale because
Mhm.
I've sold an $11 million deal and 500,000 deal is still the same thing. People are considering about the
Mhm.
same thing, the cost versus benefit analysis. Some of the things that they use to judge and see whether and assess whether this deal is good for them. So
Mhm.
decision making process can be different in various different companies, but it wouldn't affect so much. But on a personal level, it will,
Mm.
right? Because when it's all because people feel a sense of attachment to the money that they have. Like when they're spending
Mhm.
company money, they're not attached to it because it's not their money anyway,
Yeah.
right? So, but you are doing something that is selling because I both sold high ticket to B2B and B2C as well. So when selling like
Mhm.
the artwork, now if you want people to spend that like the high ticket item that I sold, right? The artwork, the six
Mhm.
figure one. In fact, if I use the way that I'm using selling mobile phones to sell to email, I wouldn't be able to get the sale. Because why?
Mm.
It feels that I want to get his money. It feels that I want to sell him something. It feels I
Mhm.
wanted the commission,
Mhm.
right? So, but lower ticket item, if I keep on selling you, uh, you would say, hey, because it's such a small risk, right? You say, hey, no problem, I just get from you. Have you ever bought something that you don't need, but people keep on selling? You say you just buy for the sake of, because you've been talking so much,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Just so, I just want to get rid of this person, no problem. I'll spend the $10,
Yes.
$15 just to get rid of him, right?
Yes.
Sometimes when you're eating at a stall and people come and buy my fruits, buy this, buy
Yeah.
that, right? And you
Yep.
just spend the money, and that's what
Yep.
happened when smaller ticket items, right? But the
Mhm.
process can be the same of how you sell. But how we make the decision is a little bit different. Now, on the high ticket item, like the artwork that I sold,
Mm-hmm.
it requires probably 5 to 10% of me talking only,
Mm.
comparing to a lot of deals that I've done, right? I don't
Mm.
even need to do any presentation. I don't even need
Mm-hmm.
to tell the customers who the artist is. Why?
Mm.
Because it comes down to qualification and being able to identify who is your target market. Now, when I brought the artwork to the Art Expo Malaysia, when I have it hang it there, and I was noticing customer to coming, right? Then the people that are actually coming to your outlet, to your booth, and they were asking a lot of questions, those are not buyers. That's what I noticed so far, right? They were asking a lot of questions. Who's the artist? Wow, this sounds so amazing, this and that, right? They are not buyers. And
Mm.
there's been 3 occasions that people are buying from me, right? Where they acted very different. How?
Mm.
They were standing there, crossing their hands, looking at the
Mm-hmm.
artwork as though they're like, being mesmerized by it. And that is when I know, hey, this person is different. He's not even asking me anything.
Mm.
So I was like, knowing how to read a little bit of body language by then, right? I was like, okay, push myself away first, because I think if I were to buy something like this expensive, right? He saw the
Mm-hmm.
price tag. It was very quite big. So
Mm-hmm.
he was like 5 feet away from the artwork. He
Mm-hmm.
must be thinking a lot of things. I'm giving him
Mm.
room, right? So he's like going through his head. What I found out is that he was trying to make a connection with the painting, right? Come on, imagine
Mm.
yourself have money. You can spend like no other people. You can spend
Mm-hmm.
500K on something, and it feels like $5 or $10 to you,
Mm.
right? So at that point, to him, if he's a self-made person, he would still feel the pain of using his personal money to buy this. If it's not the company, he's
Yep.
using it personal. So he still
Yep.
feel the pain of losing that money. So he want to justify whether or not this is spendable. Then he want to find an emotional connection with the painting. After 10 minutes, he talked to me and the deal is done. I don't even need to
So
defend it.
he,
It's my
wow.
ability
So
to
he's
recognize it.
right. So if you had maybe just interrupted and say, "Hey,
It was
Mister,
gone.
what do you think?" It's
Yep.
gone.
It's gone.
You lost the
I
deal
don't even
basically.
need to tell him what do you think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I did? He looked at me. He know I was looking. I was like mirroring him. He know I was looking. Then he looked at me. I looked at him. He say, "This one." I mean, signaling I was the manager. Yep. This one. He gave me a price. He asked for a discount, and we have never sold that before. Right? So I talked to my boss. I know my boss has a 50% profit margin, and he was giving like
Mm-hmm.
he was asking for like 15 to 20%, right? 14% or 15%. I remember. He said, "This
Mm-hmm.
price sent to my home. If you can do this price, send to my home right now." So he was like
Wow.
brushing his ego, everything. So we know this kind of customer. So I can argue with him. I said, "Give me a moment. Let me ask my boss." So I go to my boss and say, "We haven't sold anything yet. It's the first time. Let me close this deal. You still have profit. Would you rather have this
Mm.
here, or would you rather exchange with cash?" So I was like persuading my
Mm-hmm.
boss. He said, "Okay, I want cash."
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I go and sell it, send it to him, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. You know what he did? He was having that 10 minutes to make a decision on this painting. And when he felt the
Mm-hmm.
connection, he said he's going to spend the money. He was persuading himself to make it, right?
Mm.
Probably on a 10 ringgit product or $10 product, you won't have to think as much because the
Mm-hmm.
risk is small. When the risk is big on your
Yep.
own personal money, you have to think a lot more. So you have to
Yep.
see the difference is that are you able as a salesperson to recognize that what people need to consider? What decisions are they
Mm.
making? Are you also giving them certain information to help them make the decision easier? Right? Because
Mm-hmm.
chances are they never have bought any kind of this painting before or this high ticket price
Mm.
before. So
Mm-hmm.
it is only normal for people to consider that much.
Mm.
So to me, the process of selling can be the same,
Mm-hmm.
but we as salesperson must understand and be aware of the other person that we're dealing with. What are they going through? So we must have the
Mm.
empathy to actually understand other people, be in their shoes, feel what they feel, see what they see, and understand the narrative that's going on in their brain. Then you'll be able to react accordingly and respond accordingly,
Mm.
right? So the difference is in how people make decision on a small ticket item and a large ticket item. It's how they make decision, right? How longer time they need and what are the they will consider more risk compared to lower risk, and the time a person take to make a decision, right? But sometimes to a certain extent, like a luxury item, things that people want, like an iPhone, people can make it snap decisions just like that. Why? Because it's already something they want. So
Mm.
comparing to selling something that is solving a problem that people don't know yet whether they want it or not, that will take longer
Mm-hmm.
time. So the things that they
Yeah.
already know they wanted, the things that they desire the most, wow, buying this Christian Louboutin, buying this LV, gonna elevate my position, right? I can get more chicks with this, I can get more boys with this, right? Then they'll
Mm-hmm.
buy at a snap of a finger because they
Mm.
already has the decision inside their brain.
Mm.
So to me, there will be variations of this, but it's only
Mm-hmm.
more to the time of making the decision, and and what are the risks that they considering when they make the decision. So that's the biggest
Mm.
difference. The rest is the same,
Nice.
but you should
Nice.
go into the position. Don't overthink it to a point where, oh, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna, this is a huge purchase. So a lot of times salespeople would think about, okay, this is a high price. I don't even dare to pay the money for myself, and therefore,
Mm-hmm.
right, it will kill the sale. Why? When you want to
Mm.
sell something, right, the counterintuitive thing to do is to think that, you know what, if I have the money, I will buy this.
Mm.
If I have the money, without skipping a bit, I will buy it. And
Mm.
that's the position that you need to have, because it shows that you're confident in the product. You know the value.
Mm.
What's worse than you dealing with a salesperson that say, you know what, I don't know how this can help you. You feel that he's not even confident in his own product. Will you
Mm.
dare to buy from somebody like that?
Mm.
Chances
Nah.
are the company
The
is not
quality
treating them
safe.
nice, is not doing the training for them, is not investing into making them good. Will you want to deal with a boss like that? How much would he, you really think he invest into the customer service part,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shows up a lot of times. We as customer, we have all these assumptions that we make up, that a lot of
Mm.
salespeople make up.
Mm.
Mm. So that's the more important part between closing a deals, and the differences between a low ticket item or high ticket item. But it's still more on the emotional makeup that's different on how people make decisions.
Awesome insight. Thanks, Aaron.